running backs recap.
Get to the corner, and he does say goodbye, Ricky Booth.
The day belongs to four young men from Notre Dame.
Campbell breaks away and does it the hard way.
Doc Blanchard and Glenn Davis, Mr. Inside and Outside.
And this fellow runs, wow. You can't tackle him high. Bo Jackson with 9.5 speed.
You got to see all of Barry Sanders' moves on one play right there.
A tremendously gifted athlete. Number 32, O.J. Simpson.
And now at the top of ESPNU's honor roll of top 10 running backs. A block of Wrightsville, Georgia granite that broke down all barriers in front of him. Number 34 in your program, number 1 in our countdown, Herschel Walker.
I'll never forget the Tennessee-Georgia game when he was a freshman. He had his coming out party.
Herschel Walker, that kid out of Johnson County, he got a block in front of him and went in the corner standing.
Nobody knew who Herschel Walker was, and all of a sudden he broke loose as a premier running back, had that great touchdown run where he ran over Bill Bates and got into the end zone.
He's running over people. Oh, you Herschel Walker.
Coach said, Herschel, you're going in. So I ran in a game, and I was too naive and stupid to realize I was in my first college game. And I just went out and played.
Herschel Walker was a freak. He brought Earl Campbell's body, O.J. Simpson's speed, and sort of an Archie Griffith-type presence to Georgia.
There goes Herschel Walker.
And Walker's still going.
No one had ever seen anything like that. You know, here you got this big back with speed and power, and he just destroyed opponents. And he had the charisma to go along with it. He was a big bulldog.
He had that look in his eye that we're going to war, and you know I'm going to be the tank that y'all are riding, and he was always ready for it.
We were in the Sugar Bowl for the national championship, and on the second play, he dislocated his shoulder. He came out of the ball game with his elbow stuck in the air. The trainer said he's finished. He can't play anymore.
And I remember laying over on the sideline, and he put a foot here, one right here, and he popped it back.
And when we got the ball back, he goes back into the game and gains 150 yards rushing.
Gotta be Walker. Touchdown.
And no back had ever gained over 100 yards against that Notre Dame defense that year.
Vince Dooley riding on the shoulders of his Georgia football player.
Herschel Walker finished third in the 1980 Heisman voting after setting a then NCAA freshman rushing record of 1,616 yards. But the quick success didn't go to his head.
His best nickname at Georgia, and he had many, I thought was Humble Herschel, because he indeed was that.
His personality out on the field was always the same, very even keel, never too emotional, and when it came time for game time, you knew Herschel was serious.
He was the first one into the team meeting. He was always sitting at attention. The players respected him as an individual.
After rushing for 1,891 yards and 18 touchdowns as a sophomore, Walker contemplated challenging the established order and turning pro. Ultimately, he decided to stay in school, and in 1982 had another dominant season.
The old joke at Georgia was Herschel right, Herschel left, Herschel up the middle, extra point or field goal. So that was kind of our game plan.
He was like Old Man River, and the longer the game went on into the fourth quarter, he got stronger and stronger and stronger.
He has this outward persona of being nice and quiet and all that, but he has a real burning desire to be the best.
As a junior, Walker ran for 1,752 yards, 16 touchdowns, and took home the Heisman.
The winner of the 1982 Heisman Memorial Trophy from the University of Georgia, Herschel Walker.
John London of ABC was interviewing him when he won the Heisman Trophy. He said, don't you get tired carrying that ball so much? And he said, no, ma'am, it ain't so heavy.
People look for a player like Herschel Walker after that because everyone wanted that big, fast guy who could run an 80-yard touchdown or run someone over for 2 yards.
You saw him in that big red jersey, and he dominated the field. He was the only player on the field when he was in the lineup. Sure, he had a line, he had a quarterback, but it was all about Herschel.
So Herschel Walker, number 1 on our